Another day, another chance, another dance. I don't know why I keep on saying that, but okay. Today I'll be going over, confetti cuisines, right? Yeah, so it's pretty much a confetti cuisines, right? So in confetti cuisines, it's pretty much like a capstone, adding user authentication to confetti cuisine. So it's what we used before. So you got login .ejs, right? So you got a form class, right? So users, right? Then login.ejs, right? Right, and then you got your form class, right? HU class, form signed in heading, login, then label for input email, class SR only email. You know what I mean? Then inputs type equals text, name, email, ID, input email, so on and so forth. And then your label for input password, class SR only password, right? Input type, name, password, input. So this is pretty much like our form class or our HTML, with the use of Express JavaScript, right? So our EJS, that we can need make use of. But then adding a login route to our main.js as well. So we're gonna add that router that get users login, user controller dot login, authenticate. So it's pretty much everything that we need, right? So it's our routes, right? The routes that we're gonna be making use of. So for our login routes, then you got right, see here now. Right, so get post, right? So get users login. So this is pretty much our login routes. So these are the routes that we can be making use of, for our logins. And then you got log, parameters, adding the login action to user controller.js. Let's add that. So let's see there. Come on. So log out. So log in. So you got our parameters, reset render, users login. And then we've also got our cookies, right? Our cookie parser. So this like parses the cookies that we have that we're gonna be making use of, that the app's gonna be tracking. Then we're gonna use our express sessions, right? User equals required models user. So that's what happens. Parse port equals required parse port, right? So this requires our parse port, and then our cookie parser, right? And then you got our right expressing session user router that use so on and so forth. Cookie parser, secret cuisine 123, no problem. So this is pretty much our routes that you're gonna be making use of. So our secret cuisine 123, and then connect that flash. So that's what we'll be making use of. And then serialize and serialize. So this pretty much decrypts and encrypts and decrypts our password. You know for the data file password, and then you got user schema. Passport local schema. This adds the passport local mongoose module as a user schema plugin. In this file, I attach the module as a plugin to user schema. This line sets up passport local mongoose to create salt and hash fields from the user module database. Also treats some email attributes to valid field for logging in authentications. So what the salt and hash fields, what that does is encrypts our emails, right? That's what it does, just encrypts it. You know what I mean? So add the passport. In the next section, I modify the create action uses .js to passport for registering new users and set up flash messaging so the user will know whether account creation is successful. Then adding flash messaging, and then adding custom middleware to use flash messaging and model flash messaging in main.js. And then rather that use parameters, then so you go to div class and its body, right? Flashes, right? Flash messages that success, flash success, and then flash messages that error, flash error, and flash message that error, and so on and so forth. So this for flash. And then you got same thing, adding password registration, flash messaging creation action. So you got our let variables now if statements are creating our parameters in our if statements, and then our variable new user. Pretty much the same thing as lesson 24. Use create a validate parameter requests, then so on and so forth. Then logging in and logging out, adding a logout section to users controller.js. Right, so you got our delete logins, validate bodies password, authenticate password, logouts, redirect view, so on and so forth. And then you got your logouts, and then that's what you have. Then create a new subscriber. Ukabelo Kabendlini at email Kabelo Kabendlini 385 at gmail.com 4754 create plus duplicate. Then it's created already. Okay, so it tells you that say no, copy that. Okay. Failed to log in. Okay. Right. Okay.
Are you getting errors?
No, I'm not. I'm not getting any errors. Just that I'm using a account that was already used before. So I'm gonna have to create another one.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, no, everything's good. Everything's fine. Things go normally. So as you can see here, this is logged in. I've been cleaning. So I've successfully logged in. So with all my password authentications and everything, and pretty much an informal version of a firewall, right? It's pretty much security settings for my passwords and emails, like the if statements for password authentication and email authentication, right? I was able to successfully log in. There's government clean, so that's what happened. So I was right. So yeah. So I pretty much first name capital and last name, I have name, password, email address, zip code. Then view all users, create new subscriber, copy, copy, then email address, my name, surname, 35 at gmail.com. And then yeah, 4275, then 4, create, duplicate, okay, duplicate email, okay. So as you can see here, an authentication key was set up for my email in the sense that it had to be like an authenticated email in order for me to access what I'm able to access. Then yeah, then everything has been added and so on and so forth, and courses, right? Cake, book, baking cakes, max students 20. Press delete. So edit course and view all courses. And yeah, that's what you got. And then courses, home, right? Contact, your subscriber, users, then logged in as Ukabin. Then press log out. You have been logged out. Log in again. Bypass my firewall or my bypass my quote unquote firewall. But make sure it's you. Then yeah, email, password, login. Yeah, and then inspect. as you can see here, uses bootstrap. So this is no throttling. That means the the network is working in such a way, right, that network is working in such a way that the amount of data that gets turned into info isn't slowed down as there's no and as the amount of right, the amount of Wi-Fi or the connection or the amount of data that the computer is using isn't slowing down. So the transfer of data into information, right, hasn't been slowed down because we're using uncapped, so there's no throttling needed. So as you can see, these are the names and status of the different stuff that we got, like our CSS family, courses, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Then yeah, that's what happens, and then yeah, our courses, and then yeah, home, and so on and so forth, and yeah, did So anything that you want to say, or anything that you like want to deduce from lesson 25?
Okay, so what lesson 25 has is a MongoDB. Like we have our Express and it connects to MongoDB.
Yeah,
We have our EJS view engine and templates layouts. We have our method override, which enables put and delete. We have our ways of passing the form and JSON data. We also are able to handle sessions and flash messages. Well, it also supports login, logout, session persistence for authenticated users. Then we have our routing. So our home controller uses courses controller, subscribers using prod.
yeah,
Uh, we have our error handling,
yeah,
and we also have our uh, server startup.
yeah, yeah. That's pretty much what we have.